We're done. We're done. You're rebel news.
All right. Well, actually, and I'd like to extend a very sincere fuck you to all of your viewers.
Thank you. That was very eloquent, sir. David Menzies for Rebel News here in Niagara Falls, Ontario. Well, I'm standing in front of the facility that is hosting the Progressive Conservative Party of Ontario Convention. And, well, where conservatives meet, protests are sure to follow. And nobody has mastered the art of protesting more so than public sector unions because, well, they do it so often. In any event, I'm going to see what brings the likes of the Ontario Teachers Unions and Unifor and the public health sector unions out to decry this government. Hopefully we can get a discussion going. Oh, hi guys. Are you Catholic teachers?
Yes.
Yes. Just wondering, there was a story that broke last month about some Catholic schools in the Toronto area that had, and they were elementary schools, that had their students write letters to Doug Ford to echo union talking points. What do you think about that?
Our teachers are professionals, so I've never heard of that, and I don't think that would happen.
Oh, but it was documented, sir, and there was even an assignment that was produced in the popular press showing this. So I'm just wondering, why would there be indoctrination of elementary school children in the Catholic system?
Catholic teachers don't indoctrinate kids. It's the students may wish to talk about these issues, but the teachers would always allow a free and open discussion.
Okay, but then the nature of the assignment was here's what you should write to Doug Ford, and they were basically the union talking points. So isn't that a form of indoctrination?
As I say, I haven't heard of this example. That certainly wouldn't be advice coming from our association. I think most of the public has been shown by the polling supports teachers protecting the rights of students to lower class or the current class sizes, and also protecting them from unsupported e-learning.
What about the polling in terms of supporting teachers for a 2% salary increase?
As I think everyone has said, the compensation is not the issue at these negotiations.
It's not the issue.
No, it's not.
Then why not take it off the table?
It's the government that's put this on the table, not us.
Oh, hi, sir. I was looking at your sign. Is this an anti-capitalism sign you got here?
That's correct.
Oh, okay. You don't like capitalism.
Socialism sign.
Pardon me, sir?
It's a socialism sign. It's a support of socialism. And I think a lot of the socialism in our country is being dissolved by the conservatives.
How is socialism working right now around the world?
I think socialism is a great thing, and it's working great around the world. Our Canada is still a beautiful country, but if we don't maintain it, we're going to lose it.
So you'd like
Government's destroying it in certain regards.
So you'd like Canada to become more like Venezuela, North Korea, Cuba?
I think those are great countries in their own regard. They have issues that they're dealing with, of course, like every other country. But capitalism isn't working the way these people think it should be. It only supports the very few. You know that, everybody knows it.
Given the choice of living in Canada or living in Venezuela, what would you choose?
I love Canada.
Can I borrow you for a second? Can I borrow you?
Thank you.
Yeah, he's like a fucking white guy.
Well, see, this is what happens, folks, when the ringleaders see the rank and file speaking off script. They don't like it, and they're taken away and they're coached. Hi, sir. Who are you there?
All right. Anyway, yeah, we have. Thank you very much. So that's why. All right.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right. Yeah. Fuck yourselves.
Oh, that's not very civil. Hi, ma'am. I'm just reading your sign. I would rather have GM than a piece of crap Ford. Well, what does that mean exactly?
Well, I'm from.
Don't talk to them. They're not our friends.
Okay.
Don't talk.
Oh, I guess you're only supposed to talk to. Are you only allowed to talk to unionized media from Unifor?
Sound bites.
Now, here's the other thing, folks. These learned scholars of the union movement, they come up to us and they stick their flags and posters in our face. So I'm just wondering, one of the issues, of course, that's part of this strike is you teachers want a 2% salary increase. Is that justified given the amount of the debt and the deficit in Ontario right now?
I can't comment on that.
Well, you can't comment on that.
No.
Hi, ma'am. Just reading your sign. It says, "Keep Ontario schools world class."
Yes.
Are our schools world class?
That's how I feel. Yeah, I feel like a lot of other countries look to our especially our FDK model that's been around for quite a number of years, and it's a great way to educate 3 to 5 year olds, and that's why I'm here to keep those programs that we have that other countries look to replicate in their schools.
I thought there were some news stories recently showing that grade 6, grade 9 math scores were below 50% in terms of the pass rate. So how would you equate that with a world-class performance?
I think that we have to take provincial testing with a grain of salt, I would say.
Hey, how you doing there? I'm just reading your sign. Save the drama for the llama. Get back to the table, Lecce. What does this all mean, ma'am?
This means we would like to bargain and get back to the table and get a fair deal for our students.
Okay, I thought one of the issues was about getting a further deal for teachers by a 2% salary increase.
The main issue for us, I'm in support staff, is supporting our kids who need support to get the education they deserve.
Okay, then, but that is one of the issues, and yet we have a province that has a $350 debt. We have multi-billion-dollar deficits. I mean, is there any money in the kitty for this kind of union entitlement?
I think more importantly for our students is to have classrooms where they can thrive, and I'm not sure that compensation is the big holdback.
Well, thank you for your time, ma'am. I don't hate you, because if I did, that would be a form, I think, of Islamophobia. How do you like that? I just off the cuff.
Back in the 60s and 70s, we never had that tutoring.
Sir, I'm sorry. There's somebody calling me a Nazi here. I got to find out why that is. Sir, you called me a Nazi. Why is that, sir?
Get out of my face. Get out of my face.
Don't touch me.
Don't you come.
My grandfather spent more than 5 years of his life fighting the Nazis.
You're a piece of shit racist.
And you're a member of CUPE, and you can't articulate yourself any better than that.
That's so. You and Ezra Levant and Rebel News, you're a bunch of Nazis.
That's very funny. Ezra Levant is a Jew. How would a Jew be a Nazi?
Why are you a bunch of Nazi racists? Don't push the camera in my face. Hey, don't put the camera in my face. Don't put the camera in my face.
Don't touch him.
Camera in my face.
Don't touch him.
Don't put the camera in my face, man.
You are a vulgar individual.
You're a racist.
You're very vulgar.
You're a racist pig.
Can you please give an example, sir? You can't give an example. You're a coward. You are a coward. Excuse me, sir. He came to us when I was doing an interview and did you hear that? Call me a Nazi.
It's a peaceful demonstration, please.
Do you think maybe there'd be more public support for the teachers if they stuck to those issues like class size, e-learning, but they are adamant on this 2% salary increase when we have a province that is awash in debt and deficit?
Yeah, well, that 2%, it's a joke. Teachers shouldn't have more than, well, hell, what did Ford gave himself? What percent of a raise Ford gave himself in his bunch? What, 14%? 13%? Something like that?
But I guess we were looking at sheer numbers, and also if they acquiesce to the 2%, they have to give other unions like the CUPE members calling me a Nazi an additional 1% raise. And the fact is there's more than $350 billion in debt. That's the debt load of this province.
Well, debt load, we can't help that.
Oh, hi, ma'am. I'm just reading your sign. I was violently assaulted in my classroom. What happened?
Rebel media. You may not want to
I was just about to say. You know what? I can't say. If you want, you can talk to my union.
Oh, okay, but it says you're using the pronoun I. I mean, would they know your story?
You can speak to my union.
That's very interesting. Okay, then. Sir, I'm very curious. You called us a bunch of racists. Why is that?
Because that's who you are.
Okay, give us an example, please. Why is Doug Ford evil, sir?
Because he has cuts to education which aren't helping the students.
Well, isn't it about a 2% salary increase, Mr. Vader, to the teachers?
No, it's not.
Okay, then. So I thought that was one of the sticking points in the negotiations. Why don't they take the 2% salary increase off?
I know. He's a piece of shit trying to post my answer so it looks... Go ahead.
Oh, Mr. Vader. Just when you want to interview someone from the dark side, we even get shunned by them, right? Oh, not you again. So you are a supporter of socialism then, sir?
Yes, obviously.
How has socialism worked in the world right now? Venezuela, Cuba, North Korea?
Venezuela is the product of United States meddling and sanctions. Yes, really.
And North Korea, Cuba, the other...
North Korea is a product of American sanctions. That economy has been left out of the international economy. How can it actually operate in a global world if it's denied the ability to participate in an international economy?
So, but given the track record of socialism over the decades, sir, why would you advocate that for here? And how about yourself, sir? Where do I get one of those newspapers?
You're done.
Oh, I gotta buy it. Oh, I see. So it ma'am, that's interesting. That sounds very much like a facet of capitalism.
Stop!
You won't give me the paper.
Stop your nonsense!
You said I have to buy it, but you're socialist.
Yes.
Can't you give it to me? Can't you subsidize my newspaper needs?
You're a rich person. I don't know what you've stolen from everybody.
I have stolen from everybody? I'm reading your sign. Ford is a Wendigo?
Ford is a Wendigo, yeah.
Isn't a Wendigo a monster from native folklore?
Yeah, well, it's a monster from the Algonquin language group, so like the Ojibwe and the Algonquin, the Odawa. You're normally not supposed to say Wendigo or they show up, but that whole convention center is already full of them, so I figured that ship's kind of sailed already.
You support the what?
The Dish with One Spoon Treaty. It's a resource sharing agreement between, again, the Algonquin peoples and the Longhouse people. It recognizes that the resources in Ontario, while abundant, are limited, and they need to be treated with respect.
Yeah, well, if the resources are unlimited, why do we have a situation, sir, where we have a debt that is more than $350 billion? We have annual deficits.
We're not taxing the people with money because we're not a rich province. We're a province with rich people in it.
So you're advocating that we raise taxes for rich people, for corporations, that sort of thing?
Absolutely. Tax the fuck out of them.
But ma'am, isn't capital very fluid? If you do that, won't capital flee that jurisdiction?
They can leave.
So that would...
them. Fine.
Wouldn't that worsen the situation?
Hell no. We were fine before you assholes got here.
Who are you assholes? I don't understand that. I mean,
I think the people who watch Rebel know exactly who we're talking about.
We see you. We're done. We're done. You're Rebel News.
All right. Well,
actually, and I'd like to extend a very sincere fuck you to all of your viewers.
Thank you. That was very eloquent, sir. Hey folks, have you heard the news? Rebel News is going on a cruise. Please go to rebelnewscruise.com, get all the details, and I hope to see you aboard the ship in July as we head north to Alaska.